And Hassan Mahmoud Sheikh raises the Somali Parliament is just declared a very warm welcome to today's bulletin. My name is Balkhesa Farah.
I am Hassan Muktar.
And before anything, let us look at some of the stories making our headlines.
Somalian Parliament finally re-elect Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud to power as their president.
Tough ways to the state houses, the two leading coalition parties are trying to win a large number of Kenyans' votes.
Prolonged drought still witnessed in which year leaves livestock owners counting huge losses.
On to a top story, the lawmakers of Somalia handed over the presidency to the former leader and President Hassan Sheikh for a second time. Mohamud has returned to the nation's top office, defeating the incumbent leader, Mohammed Abdullahi.
Mohamud, who served as Somali president between 2012 and 2017, won the contest in the capital city, Mogadishu, amid the security lockdown imposed by authorities to prevent a daily attack. Our reporter Peter Kamau has more on this story.
Hassan Sheikh Mohamud was president of Somalia once before, now is back in office again. My country needs to walk forward and not go backwards, and it doesn't need violence and revenge. Whatever was done to people, we call for forgiveness. This time, the gunfire on the street of the capital, Mogadishu, is in celebration rather than armed conflict. People here were glad to have a change in leader. Hassan Sheikh defeated outgoing President Mohammed Abdullahi Mohammed, known as Farmajo, whose popularity has declined over his 5 years in office. His critics said he made Somalia conflict in economy worse and he tried to stay in power if he held stolen election. Somalians do not actually cast votes. MPs are chosen by officials and clans representatives. Then the MPs vote for presidential candidates in a series of 3 rounds. Hassan Sheikh inherits some major challenges. The armed group Al-Shabaab is stronger than it was when his first term ended 5 years ago. They control some parts of the countryside. On the other hand, Somalia has been suffering one of its worst drought in decades. The UN has warned of a pending famine. More than 700,000 people have lost their farms and livestock and fled countryside into camps. They urgently need help. With Mogadishu is a moment of optimism. We celebrate the victory of President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud. We want him to prioritize security and establish one person, one vote and create jobs, especially for the youth. The extended election period has been tense and sometimes violent. Now it is over. People hope things will get better. Kama Waidhaka, Mogadishu, Somalia.
All we can say from here is congratulations to President Hassan Mahmoud.
The political fire is burning as the rest of the State House gets hotter. The two leading coalitions, that is United Democratic Alliance and the Azimio Alliance, are racing against time to try and convince the millions of Kenyans to vote them.
87 days remaining from election before the county decide on who will be the 5th president of Kenya. Our reporter Mohamud has more.
It is less than 2.5 months before Kenyans take to the ballot to vote the next president. The Kenya Kwanza, led by Deputy President William Ruto and deputized by Rigathi Gachagua, have been cleared by IEBC. The two promised to campaign and promote the bottom-up economy across the country.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen anything like a campaign yet. Yeah, after today, you will see what you have never seen. Because we must liberate this country. We must get this country from the hostages of a few people. We must get this country out of conflict of interest and state capture. This country does not belong to the few. This country belongs to 50 million Kenyans. And we need to get it to them so that every Kenyan can know that they and their effort and their dream can amount to something.
Meanwhile, the Azimio la Umoja have also been cleared by IEBC and are expected to soon hold rallies across the country to popularize their ideologies. Reporting from Nairobi, my name is Mahmoud Ahmed.
Due to lack of rain in the last 4 seasons, counties in the north and eastern part of Kenya have been affected by the long persistent drought. The communities largely depend on livestock keeping, but they are counting losses after large numbers of their animals are dying due to lack of pasture and water.
In Wajir, residents travel for a long distance in search of water. The resident plea to the county government in conjunction with the national government is to help solve the problem of water shortage in these counties and come up with a long-lasting solution. Our reporter Muthaiga has more on this.
Every corner of the landscape reveals nothing but the sun stretching as far as the horizon. We traveled through the sun-baked earth full of trucks in Wajir County. In pastoral areas, household income and food access are increasingly constrained due to atypical livestock migration, reduced milk production and consumption, reduced livestock sale value, and high staple food prices driving in crisis. The cumulative impact of 2 consecutive poor rainy seasons, coupled with COVID-19 pandemic, pests and diseases, have caused humanitarian needs to rapidly rise in the arid and semi-arid regions of Kenya, leading to the declaration of the national disaster by the President of the Republic of Kenya on 8 September 2021. In Wajir, the summers are short, sweltering, muggy, and mostly cloudy. The winters are short, warm, windy, and partly cloudy, and it is dry year-round. Over the course of the year, the temperatures typically varies from 73 degrees F to 97 degrees F, and it rarely below 71 degrees F or above 100 degrees F. Due to the minimal rainfall, residents travel for long distance in search of water and pasture. We spent the night at Wajir town before we traveled to Balkhesa, 14 kilometers from Wajir town. In Baladwin, the residents are forced to dig deep on their pockets to ferry water on county government trucks from Wajir town, which cost them 12,000 Kenyan shilling.
The politicians are only interested in our votes. Today, no one has visited us to help. We only have God to help us. In this area, we lack water. We have no wells and we're expecting none. We pay 1,200 shillings from our pockets to get water. As the residents of this area, we want the government to look into our rights and get us water. The biggest problem we are having at Wajir is water. No water. It is God that brings water, but humans have options like wells and boreholes. If a borehole is dug, we can say that the government has done something, but it is God that brings water. In an area where people are living, we have different people. There are those who have and those who doesn't, and these are drought periods. If we are asked what would you ask from the government, we will say, dig boreholes and wells. There is a Somali proverb that says, life is water and living is milk. It is after you get water, then the rest follows. Life is not complete without water. My name is Ahmed Hassan, talking about the problems we are facing in Baladwin. This is a town that many people live in that has no water.
The residents plead with the county government in conjunction with the national government to dig more boreholes in the area to counterattack these long droughts. Justus reporting from Wajir County.
That story by Justice Muthaiga takes us for a short break, but we'll be back with much more.
Good morning.
Dad, vitamin B2 ni nini?
Vitamin B2 zinapatikana kwa Ilara Fresh Milk. Na unahitaji hizo vitamins kila siku kupata energy, yani mauo.
mawowowo, mawowo ya kucheza, mawowo ya kuruka, mawowo ya kuswing, mawowo ya kudunk.
Mawowowo,
Ilara fresh milk, jijaze mawowowo.
Thank you for staying tuned on ITV, and now let us take a look on the next story. Alleged abuse of emergency pregnant bills, popularly known as the P2, has been rampant in the society, especially by the youth.
Farmers are reporting the rise in the use and in some cases the misuse of these drugs by the young ladies who are not considering the side effect of these pills. Our reporter John Chege has filed that story.
Increase in sexual behaviors among the youths has brought about emergence of unwanted pregnancies, but now the generation came up with a way of preventing them, and that is swallowing a pill known as P2.
P2 ni kind of contraceptive, lakini ni ile emergency na inatumika kuzuia mtu asipate mimba yenye hajapangia.
According to the research done by some of the pharmaceuticals who sell this kind of pills, the demand of this particular pill is high during the weekends, and surprisingly, the highest percentage of its users are the young people.
Kuanzia Fridays mpaka Monday asubuhi, hiyo P2 inafanya kazi hapo. Mostly ni youths, between ages kutoka 18 hapo hivyo 29. Hao ndio wanapenda kutumia P2 sana.
As this young generation continues using this pill, what they don't keep in mind is that there are dangers awaiting them on the other side of the road. However, it is noted that the youths keep on hopping from one chemist to the other as they run away from advices of the pharmacist they got the pill from the last time they bought it.
Tumpea advice, lakini leo akikuja hapa kesho ataenda mahali pengine. Hivyo hivyo. Na ifai kutumiwa ovyo ovyo. In fact, ufai kutumia mara 2 kwa mwaka, more than 2 times in a year, because it's an emergency. Inaweza leta madhara yake kama hormonal imbalances na some other defects, because kila dawa iko na advanced drug reaction yake.
The use of this emergency pill among our youths to stop the unwanted pregnancies will still be ineffective unless they stop their sexual behaviors. Chege John, Thika, Kiambu County.
On to sport news, Mahmoud defeated AFC Leopard through a penalty shootout in a game that winners drove after 9 minutes. Atamba has more on the sport details.
Gor Mahia are this year Madaraka Cup winners after defeating AFC Leopard 5-6 through penalty shootout. The game ended in a stalemate of normal 90 minutes. Shivachi was the first one to put AFC Leopard in front after just 7 minutes of the game, before Yanga Yai equalizing for Gor Mahia in the 65th minute when AFC Leopard goalkeeper made a mistake. And into other news, Man United have confirmed both Jesse Lingard and Paul Pogba will be leaving the club this coming summer. Pogba will be leaving the club after 6 years of serving Man United.
Again, unbelievable!
Lastly, West Ham defender Kurt Zuma has been sentenced to 180 hours of community service for kicking and slapping his pet cat. Zuma has also been banned from keeping cats for 5 years after he pleaded guilty to 2 counts of causing unnecessary suffering to protected animals.
Alright, that is where we leave it for today. And now, on the behalf of everyone who made this bulletin success, thank you so much for keeping it ITV. That is for now, and have yourself a good night. My name is Hassan,
and I am balkhesa, farah.